I don't know. I'd say I'm reasonable.
Okay, that's completely unreasonable.
I'm reasonable.
I'm unreasonable.
You have no idea just how reasonable I have been.
Reasonable synonyms are sensible, rational, practical, fair, appropriate.
Fitting, suitable, logical.
All things I would definitely say describe me.
Do they describe you?
Welcome to I'm Reasonable with Zainab Johnson.
I'm reasonable.
What is up? What's up? What's up? I'm reasonable watchers and listeners. What is up? Okay, don't be acting funny. We Why I gotta be like this? Why you gotta act like this? Why you gotta act like this? Hey, you guys, welcome to another episode of I'm Reasonable with Zainab Johnson. I am Zainab Johnson. On a scale from Fajr to Maghrib, how reasonable have we been? Y'all might not know what that means, but the people who do Ramadan Mubarak, Ramadan Kareem, and the fact that the sun is up and I still have this much energy is crazy. Yeah. How you guys doing? Okay, what we talking about on today's episode of I'm Reasonable? Before we actually talk about anything, rest in peace to Angie Stone. Angie Stone, neo soul singer. I'm gonna be very honest with you. I don't know. I believe that I know a lot of Angie Stone's music, but like right now, I can't sing a lyric. The only thing that I can sing right now is the Girlfriend's theme song. I was just about to do it, but it was going to sound so bad. The Girlfriend's theme song, and let me be very honest with you, I had no idea that was Angie Stone. I had no idea. But it was her, and that makes me really happy, and I'm so sad that it took her passing for me to be aware of that. Angie Stone was in a fatal car crash this past weekend in Alabama. I believe leaving a show and heading to another city for a show. And so that is tragic and really sad. And my condolences to her family, her friends, her colleagues, her loved ones, her fans. Yeah. All right. So, I mean, I was gonna say, I just found out Gene Hackman died too, him and his wife, and it's a suspicious death. We won't get into that today, though. Why do I keep bringing up stuff we're not going to talk about? I don't know. Maybe that'll be like a new thing that I do on I'm Reasonable, a very unreasonable thing. Hey, y'all, this is what we not talking about today, and then proceed to talking about it. Whatever. Today on let me not skip past that. Gene Hackman and his wife were found dead in their home in Costa Rica, and they're trying to figure out what the cause of the death was. I did not know that that Gene Hackman was as old as he is. I mean, I guess, like, why would I know? I can't even tell you, as much as I know who Gene Hackman is, I can't even really tell you a Gene Hackman movie, although I'm sure I've seen many. Anyway, they was showing like a very recent picture of him and his wife, and I did not even know who that was. And then they started to show, like, I think they realized, like, oh, we got to show, like, older pictures when he was more recognizable, you know, because I believe he was 93 when he passed. And I wonder if I don't know, let's not even go there. All right, already, episode off the rails, already. This week on I'm Reasonable, we are going to talk about... we definitely going to talk about that Trump-Zelensky meeting. We're going to talk about that. I know everybody talking about it, but I want to talk about it too. And I know last week I was like, okay, we ain't talking about this. Well, this week we are, in fact, talking about Volodymyr. I said his name wrong, y'all. I was calling him Vladimir, like Putin. That's Putin is Vladimir. But Zelensky is Volodymyr. Remember, I was like, it's a lot. Like, you got to pronounce every single syllable, but I was still pronouncing the O like it was an A. Volodymyr. Velo. Sometimes you really gotta listen to how people hit the vowels, you know? We're gonna talk about Volodymyr Zelensky and his sit down with President Donald J. Trump. I don't ever be calling Donald Trump president, but whatever, it don't matter. I'm sure to the Trump supporters, it's like, you disrespectful, colored. And them is the black Trump supporters. Okay, whatever. We talking about that. We are talking about Alec Baldwin. Alec Baldwin has a new reality show on TLC, I believe. And the only reason why it's actually news is because the cinematographer, Halyna Hutchins, who was fatally shot on set, Baldwin was starring in, and he was actually the person that pulled the trick. He was the person holding the gun, the actor holding the gun. Their family and lawyer, they have a problem with his reality show. So we're going to get into that a little bit. And then Jamie Foxx got a son? What? I mean, this is... And do I want to talk about really quick? So did y'all see the clip where at the Oscars, Adrien Brody, who won for, what's the name of that movie? Whatever. I'll figure it out by the time we get to talking about it. I'll know it. But he won an Oscar, Adrien Brody, who I like. I remember years ago, I think I was like in high school or something like that. My mom forced all of us to watch The Pianist. And that's when I realized you don't pronounce a piano player a pianoist. You got to say pianist. And Adrien Brody started in that movie. And at first I was like, why is she making us watch this movie? We are kids. And then watching it, I'm like, my mom got really good taste in movies. She really does have great taste in movies. Anyway, when he was going up to accept his Oscar, he had gum in his mouth, and he threw the gum to his wife or girlfriend, his love interest, his partner. I don't even know enough about these and here's the thing. Here's why some people might have a problem with me, because I don't even care. Like, some stuff I'm like, no, I got to get this right. But whether you Adrien Brody's girlfriend, boyfriend, I'm not trying to put any rumors out there. I don't really care. I don't really care the details of their relationship. I just know she's a significant other. I don't care. I know she his lady. Anyway, he threw gum at her because it was in his mouth, and people had a problem with it. So we'll talk about it. Oh, and on Ask Z, someone sent in an Ask Z asking me for an update on something that I shared with you guys. And so we'll get into that. But first, and I appreciate that all of y'all really love my theme song. I really love it too. The producer who produced that song for me, obviously those are my vocals. That sounds so crazy to say. Those are my vocals. Girl, all you did was say words that are synonymous with unreasonable. So what are you talking about? First of all, and that's how music is made. Anyway, before we get into all of that, let's talk about where I will be, right? This weekend, I'll be in Tempe, Arizona. It's my only show away from home during the month of Ramadan. During the month of, why am I rolling that Ramadan R so hard? During the month of Ramadan. During the month of Ramadan, it is my only show that is away from home. That is this weekend, one night only, Saturday, March 8th in Tempe, Arizona. March 8th, Tempe, Arizona, at Arizona State University, at their cafeteria. is their location. I believe it's a big venue. It's open to the public. Tickets are on sale for everybody. So you don't have to be a student or faculty to go to the show. It is open for everybody. So if you are in Tempe, Arizona, Phoenix, Arizona, Scottsdale, Arizona, any of the surrounding areas, I feel like Arizona ain't that big of a state. So if you in Arizona, period, you can probably make it out to see me Saturday, March 8th. Then after that, I'll be in New York City for one night only. April 4th, Friday, April 4th, I will be at the City Winery in New York City. And let me tell you, yesterday when I posted about it, it was 20 tickets left. I have no idea how many tickets are left, but I know when I was in Chicago, I was recording this podcast and I was like, yo, I'm coming to Chicago, and there's like a few tickets left. And by the time I edited and put the podcast out, there were no tickets left. So if you are in New York and you plan on seeing me at the City Winery April 4th, Friday, April 4th, get your tickets now. Get your tickets before they are gone, okay? Then after that, let me see. Let's just look on my website, okay? Let's look on the website, because we've been adding dates on the website. And there's still more to come. Okay, so April 11th and 12th, I will be in Toronto, Ontario at the Comedy Bar. Toronto, Ontario, Canada, April 11th and 12th at the Comedy Bar. Then Friday, May 2nd, Saturday, May 3rd, Sunday, May 4th. That's May 2nd through the 4th. I will be in Arlington, Texas at the Arlington Improv. May 16th and 17th, I will be in Stamford. That's a new date. May 16th and 17th, I will be in Stamford, Connecticut. Stamford, Connecticut at the New York Comedy Club. I know it's the New York Comedy Club, which originated in New York City, but now they got locations everywhere else. One of those locations is in Stamford, Connecticut. That is where I will be Friday, May 16th and Saturday, May 17th. Then Sunday, May 18th for one night only. I'm coming back to Boston. City Winery, Boston. Come see me that Sunday, May 18th. Then Friday, May 30th. One night, two shows. Friday, May 30th, one night, two shows. Guess where? Atlanta, Georgia. Atlanta, you've been asking for it. Atlanta. So I will be there May 30th, okay, at the City Winery in Atlanta. Two shows, one at 7 p.m., one at 10 p.m. Get those tickets, okay? Then Friday, June 6th, Saturday, June 7th, Sunday, June 8th, I will be at the Comedy Club of Kansas City. Kansas City, where, Z? Kansas City, Missouri. Now, here's the thing. There is a Kansas City, Kansas. If you find your way in Kansas City, Kansas, and you like, oh, no, but I want to see that, just cross over that street. Y'all know what I'm talking about. It's that one street that separates Kansas from Missouri. So I will be in Kansas City, Missouri, but it don't matter what Kansas City you in, you can see me, okay? That's June 6th through the 8th. Then June 13th and 14th, I will be in San Francisco, California. June 13th and 14th, San Francisco, California at Cobb's. June 19th through the 21st. June 19th, 20th, and 21st, I will be in Baltimore, Maryland. I will be in Baltimore, Maryland. And this is when I will start June to all of these shows. City Winery, Atlanta, Kansas City. Every show that starts the new tour. That starts the new hour. That starts New Joke Z. Okay, where was I? I'll be at Magooby's June 19th. Through the 21st, I will be at Magooby's in Baltimore, Maryland. And then the 27th, June 27th, new date alert. Friday, June 27th and Saturday, June 28th, I will be in Tampa. My first Florida appearance as a headliner. I will be in Tampa, Florida at the Tampa Funny Bone, June 27th and 28th. Y'all been asking me for Florida dates. Now, I know Florida is a big state, and we added one date so far, but let me just tell you what. This date better be successful, or Florida, you will never see me again. It's people in Miami and Orlando and like, wait, hold on a second. That ain't got nothing to do with our part of Florida. Call your people. September 26th and 27th. September 26th and 27th, I'll be back in Philly, right at the Punchline. I'll be in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania at the Punchline. October 10th and 11th, I will be in Cleveland. I'll be back in Cleveland. October 10th and 11th at the Cleveland Funny Bone. October 17th through the 19th. October 17th through the 19th, I will be in West Nyack, New York. So, up there. I'll be in West Nyack, New York at Levity Live, West Nyack. Levity Live, West Nyack. So come see me. I had such a good time last time. Hopefully the fire alarm doesn't go off this time, right, you guys? But definitely come see me. You guys will get a whole new hour. You guys will get all new material. I don't know how. Let me not say that. Let me not say what I was about to say. Then November 21st and 22nd, I will be in Detroit. November 21st. November 21st. And 22nd, I will be in Detroit at the House of Comedy. And then, of course, towards the end of the year, December 6th through the 8th, I will be in Addison, Texas, December 6th through the 8th at the Addison Improv in Addison, Texas. Okay? So the link for the tickets are in the details of this podcast. Don't fret. I'm adding more dates. I'm adding more cities. Okay? So just be patient. Keep posting your city, and I will try my best to add your city. I'm also going to add some international dates this year. As soon as they are confirmed, contracts are signed, I will release that information. All right? While you're thinking about getting them tickets, I mean, you should be clicking on the link right now. If you're watching this and you want to see me and I named a city that you are near or in, you should be clicking on the link right now, unless you're driving. But if not, if you are, make a mental note. As soon as I get in the office, as soon as I get to where I'm going, I got to get those Zainab tickets. Make a mental note. While I have you, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that share button. Hit that like button. All right, let's get into the show. What's up with Z? What's up with me, you ask? So I went to the doctor. I actually went to the doctor last week, but I went... Oh, you can't see where they stuck the needle. I went to... First of all, what's up with me is we got to figure out what we're doing with this hair, right? So... in the last fall, so like about 6 months ago at this point. Yeah, 6 months ago exactly. I chopped a lot of my hair off because I had so much heat damage, and now it's going back. And it's really not my ministry to be doing hair. And so I got to figure out what to do with it. And like I almost booked some boho braids, but then I remember boho braids get on my nerves. They look so nice. But let me tell you who I'm not. I am not get up in the morning every morning, spray some braids and comb it through and put curl conditioner on it. And that I realize that's not me. So my boho braids be looking real cute for the first 3 weeks, and then it be looking like a matted. Then it just looks like, well, because I am who I am, I'm getting away with it, but really it's a hot mess. So I got to figure out what to do with this hair. Anyway, I actually went to the doctor last week, but he sent me in for some blood work to just make sure, just check everything, blood, urine, etc. And so I went and did that this morning. Sidebar, I was wondering this as it was happening. So I'm fasting, and I wonder if getting my blood drawn breaks my fast. Does anybody know? Maybe I could look it up. I mean, maybe I can. I had this whole thing that says a whole list of like things that break your, this is according to AI. I don't know how true this is, but according to the AI overview, it says, no, having your blood drawn while fasting during Ramadan does not break your fast. This applies to both finger prick and intravenous blood tests. It is permissible to take blood tests while fasting during Ramadan and not break the fast. Let's hope that Google is accurate, okay? Because I downloaded this post that said all the things that were permissible during Ramadan and not, the things that break your fast and doesn't. So smelling or putting on perfume doesn't break your fast. Bleeding from the nose or mouth doesn't break your fast. Using an inhaler, like if you have asthma or something, doesn't break your fast. Removing a tooth doesn't break your fast. It's funny because I went and got my teeth cleaned like last week or 2 weeks ago. And I think I told y'all about it. And I really worked that. It was a tight, like my schedule was tight. But I went in because I was like, well, no, because when they were trying to reschedule me, it was during Ramadan. And I was like, I don't think I could do that during Ramadan. But removing a tooth is like worse than getting your teeth clean, right? But according to this, it says it doesn't break your fast. Masturbation breaks your fast. That seems obvious. Undergoing a blood test. Oh, here's my answer. Undergoing a blood test does not break your fast. Nose drops don't break your fast. Having a nosebleed doesn't. Tasting food doesn't break your fast. Interesting. I would have thought it did. Lying, swearing, using bad speech. I also thought that broke your fast. Like this morning I was in Pilates, and I'm not doing Pilates for the month of Ramadan. This was the only day that I did it, and then I'm not going to do it for the month of Ramadan. I'll resume when I'm still staying active. Like I'm going on my runs and stuff in the morning when I can, but I was like beat today after I did it. So I was like, let's see. And then I was like, I don't want to risk and hurt myself, you know? Anywho, it was hard. It was so hard this morning. And every time I was falling out of anytime I couldn't maintain like a position or a pose or, you know, whatever, when I didn't have the strength, I was like cursing. And I was like, oh my God, astaghfirullah. I was like, Allah, forgive. I kept saying, my Pilates instructor was laughing at me because I was like, Allah, please forgive me. Allah, please forgive me. Allah. But apparently lying, swearing, or using bad speech doesn't break your fast. Sexual relations breaks your fast. Wet dreams or waking up out of sleep from that doesn't break your fast. But I figure you be asleep at night. So it's like, why would you wouldn't be fasting at night anyway, right? Unless you're taking a nap during the day and you have a wet dream. That's crazy. If you nap if you having a wet dream during your nap, here's the thing. I've had that was a dream. I've had dreams like that before, you know, like, who is that? Who even is that person, right? Like I've had dreams like, well, I need to meet that person in real life, right? Or like, oh no, me and that person would never even get down like that. We've all had those dreams, but never at 2:00 in the afternoon. But no judgment. Allah is the only judge. No judgment. It doesn't break your fast if you have a wet dream. Using toothpaste or mouthwash, good, because I'll be using that all day, every day during Ramadan. Doesn't break your fast. Vomiting doesn't break your fast. Interesting. Kissing and hugging doesn't break your fast. Cutting hair or trimming. It's like some of this stuff I never even consider. Of course, combing my hair ain't going to break my fast, right? Or having a shower or a bath. It's like, what? Basic hygiene. But I did think kissing and hugging did. Because I just thought that was part of like intimacy. But I shouldn't be kissing or hugging nobody no way. Because I ain't got no ring on my finger. So. Somebody put up them emoji eyes. Applying henna doesn't break your fast. I'm almost done, you guys. Swimming and diving into water doesn't break your fast. Intentionally eating or drinking does break your fast. Cupping, like the massage technique. Cupping, interesting. Breaks your fast. Taking anesthetic injections does not break your fast. Nutritional injections does break your fast. Using cosmetics or makeup doesn't break your fast. Eye drops do not break your fast, but smoking does break your fast. Okay, well, I went to the doctor. That's where we were, right? I went to get my blood drawn for some blood work, had blood work done. And The main nurse came in, right? And she was dressed regular. She ain't have on like scrubs or anything. And then this other nurse came in who was fully in scrubs. And I'm like, oh, okay, she the nurse. She about to, you know what I'm saying? This is nothing, right? All you got to do is find my veins, swab my arm with some alcohol. You know what I'm saying? Make sure ain't nothing been used before. Take my blood. I'm up out of here, right? I'm going to go pee in a cup. I'm up out of here, right? So as the nurse with the scrubs on was trying to starting to, she was, wrapping, tying a thing around my arm. The other nurse kept interjecting, right? Almost like instructing her. So I said, oh, is this like a teaching facility? And she said, oh, no. In my mind, I'm like, well, if it ain't a teaching facility, why am I witnessing you teaching her, right? What's synonymous with instruction? Teaching. Now, I didn't say that. This is just what's happening in my mind because something about when somebody about to stick a needle in my arm, I start paying attention. So, and I know it's only 4 days into Ramadan, I know, but my clarity is clear. So I'm like, okay. So I just keep watching. And she was like, oh, do people have a hard time finding your veins? I was like, not that I remember. I don't ever remember having a hard time like giving blood or, whatever. And she was like, oh, okay. So she tied the thing around my arm. And then she was like, make a fist. I made a fist. And she was like, oh yeah, that vein pops out very easily. And she was like, there it is. And so then the girl, she takes the other nurse who's in scrubs. There was a clear age difference. That's probably why I'm saying girl, because the person in the scrubs appear to be a good amount younger than the other woman who was instructing. Anywho, so she takes the alcohol swab, cleans my arm, and she's about to take the needle and put it in my arm, right? And I guess the way she goes to the way she positions herself, then the other woman decides to instruct some more, right? She was like, so what I like to do is I like to pull the skin like this. If you pull the skin like this, she won't even feel the needle, right? And so I'm like, yeah, I don't want to feel, in my mind, I'm thinking like, yeah, I don't want to feel no needle. I ain't never have a problem, giving blood, but I felt the needle, right? And I'm like, if you got a way where I don't feel the needle, I don't want to feel the needle. And so the girl says, okay. The nurse in the scrub says, okay. And then she still positions herself. She was like, I normally like to pull it this way. Like you pulling it this way, I like to pull it this way. And so once they start doing all of that, because this sound like this, I said, okay, well now so everything else that I told y'all, besides me asking if this was a teaching facility, everything else that I just shared, that's happening in my mind. I'm not audible with it, right? It wasn't until you go like this and I go like this that I said, okay, well now, and then I speak up. I'm like, okay, well now I'm uncomfortable. This seems like a lot. This seems like something we should have discussed before my vein was waiting to be poked. So then the older nurse is like, okay, I'll do it. No worries. We don't want you to be uncomfortable. I'll do it. And she sure enough, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. I don't know what the other nurse was going to do. I don't know what the young nurse in the scrubs was going to do. But when that older lady stuck that needle on my arm, I did not even feel it. And I'm not one of them people that looks away. Last time I had a lot of blood work done was when I froze my eggs a couple of years ago. That's when I had a lot of blood work done. That's when I had to stick myself. That's when I was going in like every other day, giving blood, but I'm not one of them people with needles that got to look away. I be looking right at it because I got to see what you're doing. I don't get squirmish at my own blood. Like, I'm not a person that like, ooh, I just want to see blood. But I don't know. Something about when you touching me and when you playing with things that can affect my life, like literally affect my life, I just got to see it. You know what I'm saying? I just got to see what you're doing. If I could be awake while I'm having any surgery, I'm going to be awake because I got to see what you're doing. And I done seen all the videos, you get what I'm saying? It's like people, anesthesiologists be sexually assaulting women while I got to see everything. So I'm looking right at the needle, but then I'm looking at it go in my arm and in the vein, didn't feel a thing at all. And I thought about it. I thought like, dang, I don't want to, I hope I didn't make the younger nurse feel uncomfortable or inadequate because that's not what I was trying to do. I feel like that's on them, but like I had to speak up for myself. And so what do y'all think I would encourage everybody to speak up for themselves in every situation. But I did feel a little bit like, I don't want her to be unsure of herself. But But it's like, I didn't ask them for all of that accoutrement. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Did y'all feel like it was unreasonable or reasonable for me to be like, okay, well, now I'm uncomfortable. So who doing it? And whoever not doing it, can you step away? I ain't say that, but that was very clear in my energy. Who's doing it? And if you doing it, then you going to do it, and you better do it right, because everything that y'all have done up until this far has made me extremely uncomfortable. Also, last week we talked about Cynthia Erivo, and it don't matter what I say. The people who don't like Cynthia Erivo, the people who feel like nope, the people who feel like she is anti-black and it's like it ain't no getting through. And I'm not her representative, but I did go to a party shortly after that episode. The next day, actually, or was it the next day? 2 days later. That was Wednesday. That was Wednesday. And then I flew to New York and then back to LA on Thursday. I went to a party Thursday night. And sure enough, I'm at the party with my friend Tabitha, and Tabitha was like, Zainab, do you know Cynthia? And then Cynthia comes up to me and she's like, oh my God, I love your comedy. I watch your comedy. This is an awful impression. And she's tiny. And she's like, I've watched your stand up and I was like, this is why. And I don't go back on anything I said, but I do being completely transparent with y'all. And I said something like this on Godfrey's podcast as well. It is much easier to it's much easier to speak about people you don't know, however you want to speak about them. People that you are never going to encounter. It's so easy to form an opinion. It's so easy to speak lovingly or even not negatively. To speak negatively against people that you feel are so far outside of your world. But I was reminded, not that I would compromise my integrity at all, not that I would compromise how I truly feel about things at all. And on the flip side of that, not that I would say anything this wild, crazy, outlandish just for y'all to click on it. Or just for some views. I would never do that. But I was reminded that I have to keep in mind that when commenting on celebrities, I am essentially speaking about my peers. I'm essentially speaking about people that may eventually or have been or will be my coworkers. And one, I want to work. I want to work and I want to be successful. And I want to work in environments that are copacetic. I want to work in environments that are filled with joy, And so I just have to be very mindful of that as I speak freely to you guys on a podcast. And sometimes when people try to use you as their voice, people want you to say what they are feeling and say things that validate their thoughts and opinions because they believe that you will be heard and they never will. They believe you have a platform and just remember, I'm also just a person trying to be employed in the same way y'all are. The same way you ain't going to your boss, the same way you ain't going into the office and saying no wild shit about your coworkers because you have to keep your job. Just kind of keep that in mind when y'all send me messages and comment on other people that are doing the same thing. Like, well, why you ain't say this? And nope, It's like, well, I do have to maintain a certain level of respect because my job depends on it. That's it. That's what's up with me. Let me know if y'all think that's reasonable or unreasonable. Okay. Z main stories. President of Ukraine sat down with a bunch of people. It was a bunch of people in that room. It wasn't just President Donald J. Trump. It wasn't 45 and 47. No. It was Vice President JD. Vice President Idiot JD. I believe he was the problem. We'll get into it. Marco Rubio, a bunch of journalists, a bunch of other people. sat down and discussed. It was supposed to be a discussion of the United States remaining an ally to Ukraine. Although, here's the thing. What was abundantly clear in that conversation is the United States of America may have been an ally to the Ukraine, but Donald Trump and all of his friends are allies to Vladimir Putin. Okay? Russia, that's they mans. That's they mans, okay? Whatever we was doing in previous administrations and what may happen in administrations later, that ain't the administration. Remember when I said this not like your country? This not like your country. This not like the previous presidents. Because clearly, Donald Trump, that's Putin's man. That's his boy. Okay? Anyway, here's the thing about the meeting. It started off good. Now, the reason why I'm talking about this is because I watched the entire 50-minute meeting. Now, I, like most of us, only saw that clip that everybody circulated, right? Every news outlet circulated, every social media, it was just Trump and Vance yelling, like in a very heated way, almost scolding Zelensky, right? And I'm like, I gotta see the whole thing. Cause this looks crazy, but I gotta see the whole thing, right? Now I listen to the Breakfast Club sometimes. Every so often I listen to the Breakfast Club. Like clips to the Breakfast Club. Anyway, and this woman, they were talking about it, and this woman called in and was like, y'all actually, y'all should do more research because y'all are commenting off of a small clip. But if you watch the whole thing, it was Zelensky's fault that they was yelling at him. So I said, really? You know what? She has a point. I realized after I watched the whole thing, I do not agree with nothing that lady said, except you got to watch the whole thing, which I am an advocate for. A lot of times when I see just a clip, if I care at all, I'm going to search for more things to contextualize the story, right? So I watched the whole clip. I watched the whole thing for y'all, 50 whole minutes. I don't never want to watch 50 minutes of Donald Trump and JD Vance. Oh my God. I never want to see that. I didn't watch one episode of The Apprentice. Not a reunion show, not an Omarosa clip. No, this is not a part of my life. But I watched this 50 minutes. It started off okay. The first 8 minutes, it started off okay. Trump said, thank you so much for being here. We working on the deal. We're going to try and get the deal right. It's a little bit tough, but we're going to try and get the deal right. I hope we can get the deal. You got them, you got the minerals that I really, really need. And so I'm going to make this deal. Now here's the thing. If you ain't stupid at all, you can hear very clearly, or you can read between the lines. Trump is very, very clear. I'm only helping you. I feel like I'm only helping you because you got something we need. You got something we want. And I'm going to try my best to get the thing that we want from you. And if that means I got to help you a little bit, then I'm going to help you a little bit. But let's be clear. I'm not helping you out the kindness of my heart. I don't care about nothing or nobody. I just care about making this deal. I know your people are dying, and he said that. We got to stop that. But he kept saying both sides. People dying on both sides. Now, if you watch the thing, Zelensky's face is like spazzing the whole interview. Now, it's not actually spazzing, but it's doing a lot of, his face is telling a very different story than what's happening in the room, right? His face is like, remember in Key and Peele, where they play Obama, they would be Obama's translators. It's like Obama would say what he said, and then one of them would translate like what he really trying to say, right? Zelensky's face was doing that. His face was flabbergasted at what was being said in that room the entire time, right? So even when he's like, it's 2,000 days, people dying, it's women and children, soldiers, so many soldiers, we losing lives on both sides. His face is like, yeah, because Putin chose that. Don't nobody want to fight. But what you supposed to do with a bully? When a bully come to bully you got to protect yourself. Anywho, like I said, that first 8 minutes was fine. Peaceful. Zelensky came in polite. Thank you so much. We really trying to go to peace. He showed some pictures, right? It was a little bit clunky when he pulled out the pictures because it's like, I think if they was in a private meeting, it wouldn't have went like that. But because we're doing this on live television, not just in front of live like journalists, but on live television, we're doing this. I don't know. Do you have a program? Like, is there a table of contents? Like, is there an itinerary? Or is it okay for me to pull out these pictures of all of these hostages that we just got back from Russia and look how crazy they look? This is how mistreated our people have been in Russian containment. Look how crazy they look. You got to see this. And Trump is looking and he's like, it's devastating. It's devastating. And then after the pleasantries, right? And here's the thing. Trump is referring to them both as like this guy and this guy, they don't like each other. This guy, it's real casual. He making it seem like they just two paper companies trying to combine. No, but Zelensky is very clear. No, this is a terrorist. Putin is a terrorist. He is a bully. He's evil. Zelensky is making it very clear. I know what you're saying, but let me correct it. And here's the thing. Zelensky ain't even talking in his first language. So that's another thing. That's another thing that there's a slight barrier here because he's having to combat this room full of people that clearly ain't on his side. Besides a handful of objective journalists. He's in a room of people that clearly don't give a shit about him or his people. They only there in the interest of securing these minerals. And he gotta speak on behalf of his people, the livelihood of his people, in an absurd situation in a language that ain't even his own. Which it's fine. You need the United States help, right? But this ain't the United States you used to dealing with, right? Now, even in that 8 minutes and throughout the 50 minutes, Trump gonna find every which and way to call Biden stupid. I was actually thinking during that interview, if you watched it, I was like, dang, it sucks that Trump is such a narcissist. It sucks that he is so idiotic. It sucks that he's a shitty president because if he were a good president, he would actually fulfill his prophecy. If he were an actual good president, if he put people around him that were smart and cared and had the desire to truly do good, he'd actually be the best president because he does have a way of communicating and a personality that's like it's almost like it's like the likable buffoon, you know? It's like if he were good, if he were a good president, he would be the best president if he were a good president. It's like the opposite. It's like the other side of the coin with Obama, right? Like Obama was like very charismatic, good looking, articulate. You know what I'm saying? He gonna get up there and sing. You know what I'm saying? He gonna sing a rap song and give you like a old goddamn Marvin Gaye song or something like that. Do you get what I'm saying? He gonna crack a joke and then also give you, you know what I'm saying? Give you some facts. He going acknowledge the good and the bad, and that's what made him a very likable president. Trump, if he just were a good, like if he could be a good president, like in terms of like the politics of it all, he actually would be like one of the best presidents because he's like he's not bad when he's seemingly reasonable. Right? He's not bad when he's seemingly reasonable. At some point, okay. So then he opens it up. At about the 9 minute mark, he opens it up to the journalist. Okay, right? Right. We've been talking long enough. Y'all want to ask some questions? And they start asking questions. And this is where it starts to go. It starts to look shaky. Because they're asking direct questions. Whose side are you on? Right? This is a war. Whose side are you on? Now you sitting there in front of somebody and you can't even, I'm on no side. Now here's the thing. I think that really is a diplomatic answer. He said, I ain't on nobody's side. I'm on the side of the United States. This is what Trump said. I'm on the side of the United States. I ain't on nobody's side, but I'm trying to reach a deal. I'm trying to reach a deal. But it's very hard to believe that when someone who clearly is in the wrong, clearly, Putin is dead wrong. This is not like a debate of this. Nobody's questioning that. Russia trying to invade Ukraine, everybody believes that is wrong. Everybody is like, hold up, what? Hold up. So for you to sit here and make it seem like this is like a simple disagreement that you got to come to, no. There's clearly a villain and a victim. Clearly a villain and a victim. Every time he answer a question, Zelensky didn't go behind him and say he gotta give another answer. Cause if you look at Zelensky's face when Trump is answering anything, it's like, wait, what? I think his face is always saying, wait, what? And I do think, while I'm not like oh my God, we gotta help Ukraine. No, I'm probably one of them people that's like, wait, why are we sending so much? There's so much happening here. Why, let me say this. I'm a person that has a hard time understanding our generous foreign aid attempts when I'm literally walking over homeless people. Or I'm going into grocery stores and there's literally no eggs on the shelf. Or, anywho. So but I recognize that I don't know enough to just be like, oh no, we can't. Because what I do know, what I do understand is how the United States maintains its position of power is by having the world be your ally, need you, and also want to help you all at the same time. Right? I understand that. So anyway, so I say that. So what I'm saying, what are you saying, Zainab? Zelensky, he's in a tough spot. He's in a tough spot because he know he with the ops. He know he with the ops. He know he with the ops. He know he don't want nothing to do with them. But he know he got to sit there and try his best on behalf of his people to get some protections. Every question from the media was like, security. Trump, can you guarantee securities? Can you guarantee security for Ukraine? Trump never said yes. He said, I don't want to talk about that. I'm just trying to get this deal done, and then we'll talk about it. Zelensky's face is going crazy. What you mean? That's the whole point of me giving up these minerals, me giving up these rare minerals that y'all need, that we have, that y'all heavily desire, that we have. I don't want to give those to you. The only reason why I'm willing to give, the only thing we got left, I'm willing to give it to you is for securities. What you mean you don't want to talk about securities? That's why I'm here. Dressed like a Ukraine security guard. I know that's they soldier. I know that's they. Speaking of which, somebody asked, right? I thought that this was something that came right from like the president or the vice president. And then I realized it came from a journalist in the room. And it was a dumb question. And I was surprised that Trump didn't call it out, because at some point in the 50 minutes, somebody asked the question and he praised them. He praised them for asking that question. He even went further and was like, what outlet are you with? Okay, I really like that question. Now, that's a good question. Then he went and answered it in some inadequate way. And then Zelensky came behind him and was like, actually, I know y'all keep talking about a ceasefire, but oh boy, your boy Putin, he don't care about no ceasefire. We done had a ceasefire in place over and over and over. Past administrations, we done had a ceasefire, and he violates the ceasefire every single time. He do not care. So yeah, I need to know, how do you plan on getting this? I know you keep saying that he didn't do that while you was in office, but he did. He has not stopped. That's what Zelensky was saying since 2012. Since 2012. He has violated any sort of agreement that we had that has been put in place. And now here's the thing. Every other part of Europe, they saying that they got our back, but that don't mean nothing because we need y'all. Trump said, I don't want to talk about it. Then some journalists, after Trump praises this one journalist for asking whatever question they asked, then this other journalist going to say, I think it was a journalist, he was off camera, going to say, you didn't want to dress up? Do you own a suit? I'll be very honest with y'all. I understand decorum. I understand whatever. Yo, when I'll never forget. Iyanla Vanzant, I listened to an interview on the Breakfast Club, actually. I listened to an interview of hers some years ago on the Breakfast Club. And she said, you know, a lot of people, when she was doing Iyanla Fix My Life, she said that a lot of people get caught up in what the guests look like. You know, whether they get caught up in them looking good or really bad, whether they get, you know, they get caught up in the look. And she said, don't pay attention to what you see. She said, pay attention to the message. She said, don't let the optics of it allow you to miss the message. It's like this man is fighting for his life and his country's life. Also, if you know anything, because I ain't even have to Google this, he is dressing like that in solidarity with his soldiers. So for you to waste your question, but here's the thing. Here's reasonable Trump. Reasonable Trump said, and you know what? Later he said, you know what? I like the way you dress. I think you look nice. Boy, that's what I mean. If he was a good president, he would be one of the best presidents if he was a good president. Because if he could lay down good policy, if he showed that he actually cared about us and not his own ego and riches and things like that, his own, like if he could, that he brings levity to certain situations. Yeah, right now the levity is all wrapped up in idiocracy, but if he were a good president, he said that's tongue in cheek. I mean, I think you look nice. You know, I wanted him to go further and be like, that was a dumbass question. Now you over there, you asked a good question. That was I don't know why you asked that question. That was a waste of time. Now, I don't know. Maybe that was Trump's boy. I don't know. Because he did say when he was like, I mean, you know, I like that guy. He's not a bad guy. He's not a bad guy, but I like how you look. Then this is where it goes left. Trump, as much as Zelensky is like really reiterating, wait. Make no mistake here, Putin is a problem. This is not about me disliking him. This is about him being a terror. This is about him being a terror. Please, let's not forget that. This is about him specifically being a terror and being a terror to me. And once he is able to be a terror to me, then he is going to move on to the next thing, the territory that is next to mine. That's what Zelensky, and this is where they got mad. Probably at like the 35-minute mark. So it's almost over. Remember, I told y'all this is a 50-minute production, right? So at the 35-minute mark, right, a journalist asked about free speech, right, and speech being people being silenced in Russia, and also the pressure on the United States to silence their citizens, right? And then Marco Rubio starts speaking, and then And then JD Vance starts speaking. And he ain't really saying much, right? He's just saying that we believe in free speech and we are going to, they're very clear on not saying anything that's against Putin, right? They don't say anything against Putin. They like, oh no, we believe in free speech. Even if we don't agree with what you're saying, we believe in free speech. It's like, but then it goes left. So JD Vance comes in, right? And he says, Biden sucked and he tried to do it this way and his way sucked. And we're all about diplomacy. We're all about diplomacy. We're all about diplomacy. And he felt good about what he said. You could tell he felt good about what he said. And then Zelensky was like, let me ask you a question directly, because I know you don't know what you're talking about. So let me ask you a question directly. Zelensky is like, listen, from 2014 to 2022. So that's all the administrations. I know you're talking about Biden, but this is all the administrations. So this is not about you. This is not about it. This is about him. That's why I can't take y'all deflecting from him. This is not really about y'all. This is not about what, if y'all made the right, this is about him. Who is going to stand up and stop him? Who is going to provide me with the resources to stop him? He let them know, listen, 2019, I signed a ceasefire with him. Y'all keep talking about a ceasefire. I signed a ceasefire with him in 2019. He don't care. He don't care. He don't care. He do what he want. So what y'all gonna do about this? So he says to JD Vance, so if we signed a deal, if we signed a ceasefire deal and he ignored it, and he went past it, if we signed a pledge to exchange hostage and he did not do it, what diplomacy are you talking about? Why are you sitting here acting like we're not dealing with a monster when we're dealing with a monster? That's the reason why Zelensky faces it. And I actually like that he turned to JD Vance, because at first it's like this is all performative for the cameras and we're asking for it. But it's like, hold on a second, because you done chimed in. I don't even know why you here for. Never in a presidential history has a vice president spoke up while the president was sitting there. What are you talking for? What are you talking for when the president of the United States is sitting right there? What are you talking for? Now, I get it. There was one question that was thrown right at Marco Rubio. That's how he started talking. But what are you talking for? Nobody asked you anything. What are you talking for? But let me tell you what. JD Vance, he must know something, because he got Trump riled up. He got Trump riled up. This is like a tactic that is in JD Vance, Trump. It's like you know what JD Vance did? He said something crazy. He asserted himself. He got put in his place, right? And then he tried to be the hero, and then he played the victim. So then when Zelensky tries to, when he's like, what diplomacy are you talking about? And he's like, I'm talking about the diplomacy. And Zelensky tries to say something and he raises his voice. JD Vance raises his voice and then turns to the cameras and accuses Zelensky of being performative and doing us and being disrespectful. Now, you know, narcissist Trump. Oh, the moment wait, somebody disrespecting me? Oh, wait, hold on. I thought I was just making a deal. But somebody's in here disrespecting me? Now he done awoken the beast. JD Vance is using key terms that activate Trump's beast, right? You come to the United States, you come to the White, and you disrespect. You come to the White. He says very clear. It's like dog whistles. He says you're disrespectful. You come and you be disrespectful and attack the Oval Office. There go Trump again. You see, if you watch, and he's sitting there like, well, I'm just trying to make a deal. As you know, I'm just trying to get those rare. I'm just trying to close this deal. You know me, I do deals all my life. I'm trying to close the deal. A very good deal that I'm trying to close. But then he heard disrespect, attack. Wait, what? Oh, hold on a second. And then this where it get bad. Zelensky said, now you've been throwing out a lot of questions. You had a lot of accusations. Let me start from the top, right? He's very calm. He's sitting there. Very petite man, by the way. He's the smallest man in the room, I think. On camera, he's tiny. Tiny. But sitting there, standing his ground, right? So he says, first of all, it's war. It's war. Everybody got problems during war. What you talk about? We talk about, of course, I got problems. And I liked actually that he corrected Trump earlier in this program. He corrected him because Trump was like, it looks bad. Like, it's like Ukraine's not good. It's all be. And I think Trump be trying to say that about a lot of places. Like, if they're war torn, then it's like they're not valuable. And so somebody else, it's almost like buying a foreclosed house. That's how he be looking at stuff, I think even when he says, and this is me, I might be putting 20 on 10, but this is what I got when he was like, Putin ain't even going to want nothing to do with him once we get the minerals. Now I'm like, yeah, because is that why Putin trying to get the land? Because he want those minerals? But once y'all close this deal and the United States get the minerals, well, Putin ain't going to even need to go to Ukraine for the minerals. The land is of no value now once we exhaust their resource. So then he says, everybody got problems in war. If you want a war, you got a problem. And he says, and I think this is like a key thing for a lot of people to consider, be aware of. I'm hyper aware of it. I don't take it for granted. It's the very reason why 9/11 happened. And the reason why most terror attacks happen. Zelensky says, and then I'm gonna be done with this. But I stand on JD Vance is the problem. I think it would have been fine if JD Vance didn't say a thing and was not there. That is my personal opinion. I think it would have been fine. The facts are the facts. Trump and Putin, they lovers, right? And they best friends. That's if Trump, Putin, and the leader of China could just go on vacation, go. I was about to say to Jamaica, but they don't want to go to Jamaica, a white country. If they could go somewhere and just golf together, that would be ideal for Trump. You know what I'm saying? That's his people. But in the interest of, he's somebody that's like, you put the cards in front of him with this. What do I stand to gain from this? Can I gain something from this? If you can make the math for Trump, then you could probably possibly get him on board, right? But JD, anyway. But so Zelensky know he in a room with ops. But he says, you are not feeling the war now because you got a big ocean between us. Ain't no ocean between him, Ukraine, and Russia. Ain't no ocean. But you feel very safe over here because y'all are far away. That's when Trump, he start pointing fingers, yelling, raising his voice. JD Vance is raising his voice. And Zelensky says, whenever I say something that you don't like, you raise your voice. You raise your voice. Trump like, oh no, he not raising his voice. No, yeah, now we got two angry men bullying this petite Ukrainian man. In my opinion, bullying. When he fighting for his people's lives. And it is true. It is true. We don't feel it sometimes because we feel very far. But it's like Putin is a dictator, right? Putin is a dictator. So you think after he take Ukraine, he just going to stop? No. People who want and crave power, they got to keep going. So he was saying in the same way that it's almost like they took each other too literal, right? Because now they just out of control. Trump said, you don't have the cards, you don't have the cards, you don't have the cards. Zelensky said, Mr. President, I'm not playing cards. This is very serious. Now, I don't know if that was the comedian in him. Zelensky used to be a stand-up comic. I don't know if that's the comedian in him or if he just literally, or if that's if it's because we not in his first language. Because, English got a lot of phrases and idioms and, you know what I'm saying? We got a lot of things that you're not supposed to take literal. You don't got the cards don't literally mean you ain't got cards. We playing cards. So I don't really know. But even when he said, you don't feel it now, but you will feel it, that Trump like, well, you don't know what we'll feel. We all know what we'll feel. We done seen it in every Kung Fu movie. You kill the dad and then the child sees it And then the child, their whole life, all they do is seek vengeance. Wait, this is not a new formula. This is a tale as old as time. You beat people up. If they survive at all, they're going to come back to get you. It is a tale as old as time. In my opinion, it's like Putin is like the guy that you partner with until he get his way, and then he kill you. You know what I'm saying? The moment he get you, you know what I'm saying? Like you do a heist with Putin, and you like, yeah, no, we robbed together. And in the moment he get all the jewels, then he turn right around and kill you. You be stuck. Your last face is like, oh, I thought we was together. He like, no. I was just using you. I'm for self. I thought it was pretty sad to see, actually. And I said, that's why I was trying to say, I ain't no like Ukraine apologist or not like, I'm not like oh my God, Ukraine. Like, I don't got no connection to Ukraine. I'm just looking at it. I'm just looking at it for what it is. And clearly there is a villain and a victim. In this scenario, there is a villain and a victim. And even when we think about like Hamas and Israel and Gaza, and there's a clear villain and victim there as well. There's a very clear villain and a very clear victim. And I think anybody that tries to say that the villain isn't the villain, at least their argument is, well, they attacked us on October 7th, right? They attacked us on October 7th. Now we could get into why, right? We can get into like, was that really we could get into all of that, but at least they have that, whether you agree with it or not, at least they have that. Ukraine ain't attacked nobody. Ukraine ain't going to Russia doing nothing, bothering. They are only trying to protect themselves. They are only fighting back. What y'all think? Okay, really quick. Alec Baldwin. Alec Baldwin got a new reality show. What is it called? What is it called? It's called The Baldwins. It's called The Baldwins. It is on TLC. And I guess it recently premiered. And it premiered in February, actually. And on one of the episodes, he discusses him and his wife. I think his wife's name is Hilaria or something like that. They discuss a bunch of things, right? But one of the things that they discuss is, you know, him having PTSD from the day on set where he shot a firearm that killed the cinematographer, Halyna Hutchins. Tragic. He was, I think he was indicted for, like, he had some legal issues with it and ultimately was either found not guilty or dismissed. I can't remember. But is not facing any legal action. But he has, he says on his show that he has, sorry, y'all, I'm fasting and and that Zelensky Trump story took a lot of energy out of me. Forgive me. He says that he has PTSD, and if it on that day, if there were going to be any accident, he wishes that it was him. And the lawyers for Halyna Hutchins' family are saying they're taking legal action. They're saying that he is profiting off of their tragedy. And really quick, I just wanted to ask you guys what you think about it. What you think, is it, I think that the lawyers are being unreasonable. And I say that having not experienced anything like this, having as much as I have trauma in my life, I'm not constantly reminded of that trauma by way of the television or movies or just like celebrity, right? Meaning I don't have to constantly see it, you know. But trauma is trauma. Like for me, the trauma that I have in my life, I don't even need to see it on TV. When I close my eyes, it's there. When I lay in my bed at night, it's there, and I have to work through it, you know. But I feel like, okay, Alec Baldwin is allowed to have a reality show. He is the way this country works is there's law and order, right? And right now he is not facing any legal trouble in regards to this woman who sadly lost her life on set. It's so sad. However, he is allowed to make a living. He's allowed to still act. He's allowed to be a celebrity. He's allowed to have a reality show. His wife is 26 years younger than him, and he has 7 children. That makes for a good premise for a reality show, especially if you're already a celebrity and people want to see, you know, they want to see behind the scenes of your life, right? And Alec Baldwin, who does a lot, he soars at comedy. You know, this is a really tragic part of his life, but he soars at comedy. I think when, like, if you coming out with a reality show, people, I believe there's an expectation, whether fair or not, for you to address one of the biggest negative moments in your life. And I think he would have got backlash either way. Like, maybe he wouldn't have the legal trouble that this legal team is trying to bring against him, saying that he's profiting off of pain. But it's like, yeah, when Chris Rock did his hour after he got slapped by Will Smith at the Academy Awards, it would have been strange. It was a choice. It is a choice for him to do a whole special and never mention it. But it would have been strange. So he mentioned it in his special. Whether you like the way he mentioned it or not, he mentioned it in his special. He addressed it in his special. It's like, in my mind, it's really just the elephant in the room. So it's like the reality show is going to happen whether he does this or not, whether that happened or not, whether he talks about it or not. So for me, while I have an immense level of sympathy and compassion for her family's loss, and even if he is being genuine, his regret and his remorse, especially if he is truly innocent and that was just an unfortunate accident. It's still a part of his life as well. He still lived through it as well. And he got a reality show. So now he's talking about it. And he ain't have a whole episode on it. It was just a small part of like, yeah, this is what I'm going through. This has been a hard year for us. On top of the fact that I'm an old ass man and I got these 7 kids. I got these 7 young ass kids, and I should be their grandfather. I should come over on weekends, supervised visits. But I got these 7 young ass kids and this young ass wife, who, by the way, looks very different. Almost unrecognizable in my opinion. When they show old pictures of her when they first got together and then she was talking on the screen to like present day, I didn't even know who it was. I had to like rewind and see like, who is this? I don't understand, who is this in the story? And then I said, she looks drastically different. So now that's something that he's going through. That's something he's going through. He granddad. But he a dad to 7 young kids. And now he gotta perform for the camera, because guess what? You think this was easy for him to go through? You think they hiring Alec Baldwin the way they was? You think Alec Baldwin was killing it on 30 Rock? I mean, Alec Baldwin was like the old man. he was right up there with Robert De Niro in terms of what old dude we getting for the comedy TV series, comedy movies. We got two old funny white men. Is Robert available? He's not. Get Alec Baldwin. Is Alec available? He's not. Get Robert. You think they beating down his door now? He got to do a reality show. So to say he's profiting off of pain, and again, I say that completely compassionate to the pain that her family is feeling. But it's like, I think it's a bit unreasonable. What y'all think? All right. What else did I say I was going to talk about? Oh, okay. So here, watch this clip real quick.
Adrien Brody throws his gum at his girlfriend, Georgina Chapman, as he makes his way to the stage after winning Best Actor, which I do not think that was a winning gesture towards his girlfriend. Let's leave it at that. That's the most generous thing I can say about that.
Just swallow the gum, or don't have gum in your mouth if your award's up next.
Yeah, he's going to wonder why she's quiet in the car.
So as y'all saw, Adrien Brody, he won an Oscar, and he tossed his partner gum. And I didn't have a problem with it. People was like, that's going to be a quiet car ride. That's going to be a quiet car ride. Did you see the way she caught that gum? She caught that gum almost like when he was walking up, she yelled to him, the gum, throw me the gum. He ain't throw the gum like attack her. That's what partners do, in my opinion. If my husband, my boyfriend, my brother, my father, my best friend who is male or even female, the biggest night of their career, they go up to accept their award and they chewing gum, and then they remember, oh shit, I got gum in my mouth and I got to give myself I got to give an acceptance speech. Let me not be up there with gum in my mouth. And they toss the gum to me. Yeah, I'm gonna catch that gum. Oh, I'm gonna catch that gum out of love. It's nothing in my mind is going to think, how dare you trying to play me? Who you think I am? You throwing gum at me? Because you're not throwing gum at me. That's the whole reason why I'm your person. That's why I'm there. So for people to make it, that was tasteless. I know she had a problem with him later on. Unreasonable. What y'all think? Before I get out of here, I got to ask Z to do, but Jamie Foxx apparently got a son.
I ain't seen my dad in 3 years. He never supported my dream. I always too busy. When I come up with ideas, he never. We went and took pictures at the red carpet. That's my last time seeing him. It been like 3 years, if I can remember. Yeah, my dad don't care nothing about me. He got me out here homeless. Jamie Foxx, does everybody know him? Yeah, he got me out here like real down bad. And then trying to deny me. That's the crazy part. And don't care nothing about my mama. I don't understand, dude. Like, y'all be caught up in all these celebrities. These celebs ain't what you think they are. These celebrities ain't what you think they are.
Bro, my uncle do not got a son. I'm the closest he got to a son, bro. Uncle Jamie, tell him you ain't got no son. Y'all gotta chill with the false. Y'all believe anything y'all see. How his son older than him?
Jamie Foxx said, that's not my son. Now, let me just tell you what, I don't know if that's Jamie Foxx's son. I don't even care. But with the moment I saw it, I said, And the old nephew tried to be funny, talk about how you the same age as my father. I don't know. And I don't want to poke fun because that guy clearly has acknowledged that he is on hard times. He says that he's homeless. I don't know if it's real or fake. I don't know if it's a ploy. I don't know if he's trying to get Jamie Foxx's attention. I don't know if it's a real thing. I can't even tell. Speaking of looking different, I can't tell if that man in the car talking to the camera is that same little boy that was on the red carpet with Jamie Foxx. I don't know. But what I know is, if Jamie Foxx's other kids is any indication I'ma just say, Jamie Foxx like a white woman. That is the only evidence that I have that you may not be his son, is that you are not half white. And I mean, here's the thing. You know, a lot of Jamie Foxx is so talented. He is an exceptional talent. Undeniable, one of one. But how he ended up with the unattractive white woman, no shade to them. The basic looking, because it seemed like I'm hating on them. I'm not. It's just, sometimes we really do gotta dig deep. That's why I say, again, I'm not a Cynthia Erivo apologist at all either, right? But Cynthia Erivo loves Lena Waithe. Loves her. They love each other, right? I don't know the ins and outs of their relationship, but they together, right? And Lena Waithe is a Black American woman, I believe, from Chicago. While Jamie Foxx, we celebrate and all of that, when I look at the women that he made children with, I said, what's in my brother? What's in my brother that made him make those choices? What sort of internal struggles? And I say this with love. Again, when it was announced that Jamie Foxx was hospitalized or in any sort of medical danger, it was one of the first times that like I heard that from a celebrity, and I was truly like, no. I don't want to I don't want to deal with today. I don't want to deal with the passing of somebody like Jamie Foxx today. I don't want to deal with it. Right? So Jamie Foxx, I got a special place in my heart with Jamie Foxx. I interviewed Jamie Foxx a couple of years ago, but when I see the women, now y'all might see his daughters and see they got a whole bunch of hair and they attractive now and all of that stuff. Y'all might see that. But when y'all see the women that it's like, and I know Jamie Foxx didn't always look the way he looked. I know that. But he been a celebrity. And y'all know rich celebrity men trump what you look like if you a man. Not as a woman, but as a man, it trump what you look like. Trump. It trumps what you look like. It supersedes what you look like. If you are a celebrity, wealthy, successful man, Jamie Foxx was that for over 30 years. But the women that are the mother of his children, I say this being one of 13. 7 of my 12 siblings are boys. They're my brothers. And I wrote a joke, or one of my first jokes was, I feel like I have to marry a Black person because out of the 13 of us, 6 are married so far. And of those 6, no one has married a Black person. And I said, my brother we got so happy that my brother was dating a Black girl, we didn't care he was cheating on his wife. Now, this is a joke, right? This is an embellishment of my real life and the real situations. But that particular brother, I remember in our upbringing, as I met his different love interests, I remember asking him, was he okay? Now I love, I love the family that he has brought to me. I do. I love them. I love, but I did ask him at some point in my young adulthood, did we do something? Or how do you feel about yourself? Because I'm just not understanding your choices. That's the most, speaking about diplomacy, that's the most diplomatic way I could say it. I ain't really understanding your choice. Is it the personality? It must be. What y'all think? Y'all think that's Jamie Foxx's kid? And if it is Jamie Foxx's kid, what's more unreasonable? The man lying about being Jamie Foxx's kid or Jamie Foxx denying the kid? What's more unreasonable? I'm always trying to figure that out. What's worse? You sitting here lying, claiming somebody is your daddy and they ain't your daddy? Or you the father and you just not claiming your kid? Y'all, let me know. Let me know what y'all think. Okay, before I get out of here, and the battery might die. The battery might die before this happens. So let me try and do this quick. So this is an Ask Z. Okay, today on Ask Z, it comes from we're gonna call him Mufasa. We're gonna call him Mufasa. We're going to call him Mufasa. So, hey, Zainab, my name is Mufasa, and it is a pleasure to meet you. I want to first start off by saying I loved, in all caps, I loved your set in Chicago. I attended your first show on Friday evening, and I had a great time. My Ask Z is more of an update. One of your recent episodes of I'm Reasonable, I can't remember which one, if it was alive or not, but I believe it was within the last few months. It was. You spoke about you making the decision to part ways with one of your close friends. I just wanted to know if you decided to move forward and end that friendship and how you're feeling afterwards, or if you decided not to and how you all are doing thus far. I'm in the process of parting ways with a couple of my friends as well. I know that journey can be tough, especially when you realize you're on a different path than the people you care about. Thanks in advance, and I look forward to seeing you on the next I'm Reasonable episode. Have a great day, Mufasa. Thank you so much for asking me that. I have not, and there has been no movement. The only thing that has happened is I have not reached out, and it's only because it's a few reasons. One, I think I'd be very honest with it. It's just it doesn't feel good. And these days I have been too busy, too consumed with something else, at this point now it's Ramadan, not to blame anything on Ramadan, but it's just definitely not going to happen, I don't believe, during the month of Ramadan, because I'm very careful about how I exert the energy. And so I just haven't done it because it doesn't feel good, and I don't want to not feel good. And I don't think it will be a simple conversation. I don't believe that it's a friendship that this friend won't fight for. And I just am not up to it. And so there has been no movement. And a friend of mine, another friend, advised me. She said, well, you guys haven't been really speaking that much. And you haven't been speaking that much. And so maybe just let the distance occur. I think that this friend deserves more than that. So I will do it, but it hasn't happened yet. And I feel no differently. And I'm not looking for her to save the friendship at all. It's just been really about me facing it and me dealing with it and me having the hard conversation that I don't want to have. So yeah. When it does happen, I'll tell you guys. I'll tell you. That's it for me. This is I'm Reasonable with Zainab Johnson. Thank you so much. Until I see you guys again, stay reasonable. Bye.